Welcome to our International Student Brief program. Today, we take a closer look at the troubling situation for Chinese students in Canada, who are reporting harassment from the Chinese government aimed at silencing their pro-democracy voices. These brave individuals are standing firm despite facing threats and familial backlash, showcasing their commitment to political reform. Next up, we shift our focus to Melbourne, where the housing demand is soaring as migration continues to boost the population. Suburbs like Clyde North are experiencing a boom in student enrollment and community growth, but the local government is finding it challenging to manage urban sprawl and ensure affordable housing for families. Finally, we explore the shifting aspirations of Indian students, many of whom are now reconsidering their plans to study in Canada due to rising costs and job uncertainties. With a significant drop in applications, students are looking towards countries like Australia and Germany for their educational journeys. Please stay tuned for more detailed coverage. CBC reports on the troubling experiences of Chinese students studying in Canada, who claim they are being targeted by Beijing's campaign of intimidation aimed at suppressing dissent abroad. Ruahua Yang, a student who arrived in Canada at 15, shared how he learned about the Tiananmen Square massacre, which contradicted the Chinese government's narrative. This newfound awareness drove him to participate in pro-democracy protests in Toronto and establish the Assembly of Citizens, a group advocating for democracy in China. However, his activism led to threats against him and strained relations with his parents, who work for the Communist Party. Other students echoed Yang's fears, revealing a pervasive atmosphere of intimidation, with reports of harassment and surveillance by Chinese authorities even from afar. The Sydney Morning Herald highlights the housing crisis in Melbourne's rapidly growing suburbs, particularly Clyde North, where schools like Hillcrest Christian College are struggling to accommodate an influx of students. The suburb has seen its population skyrocket from 769 to over 31,000 in just a decade, driven by a record migrant intake in Victoria. The principal of Hillcrest noted the challenges of managing growth while maintaining a connection to nature, as new developments encroach on green spaces. The Victorian government aims to shift housing development towards established areas, but local councils warn that high-density living may not attract families seeking affordable homes, especially as many migrants prefer detached houses in the outer suburbs. CBC also covers the declining interest among Indian students in pursuing education in Canada, with many now considering alternatives like Australia. Dilraj Singh, a prospective student, cited concerns over job availability and high living costs as key reasons for his change of heart. The Canadian government's recent decision to reduce international student permits has further fueled uncertainty, leading many to question the viability of studying in Canada. Education consultants report a significant drop in applications, with students increasingly looking towards countries like Germany and the UK. The shifting landscape has left many students feeling lost, as they navigate the complexities of changing immigration rules and housing market pressures in Canada. BBC reports on the rising trend of cosmetic tourism, where individuals travel abroad for cheaper cosmetic procedures, often leading to dire consequences. Emma Bestall, a mother of 3, sought a tummy tuck and liposuction in Poland, believing it would enhance her life after losing significant weight. However, her experience turned tragic when she developed a severe infection after the surgery, requiring emergency treatment upon returning to the UK. Medical professionals like consultant plastic surgeon Matt Smith have noted an alarming increase in patients needing corrective surgeries due to botched procedures abroad, highlighting the risks associated with the allure of low-cost cosmetic surgeries. Telegraph highlights a call for reform in the student loan repayment system in England, as former government advisor Tim Lunig proposes reducing the repayment term from 40 years to 20 years. His plan aims to create a more sustainable financial structure for students, suggesting that all graduates should repay a minimum amount regardless of income. University leaders are concerned about funding issues stemming from frozen tuition fees and a decline in international students. Lunig's proposals include increased government funding for universities and maintenance grants for low-income students, emphasizing the urgent need for a radical overhaul of the current system to ensure its viability. The Sydney Morning Herald covers the heated political debate surrounding immigration and student visas in Australia, sparked by opposition leader Peter Dutton's comments likening overstaying international students to the modern version of boat arrivals. As the Labor government rejects a significant percentage of student visa applications, Dutton claims that individuals are exploiting weaknesses in the system. This has led to a surge in appeals against visa refusals, with a record backlog in the Administrative Appeals Tribunal. Critics argue that both major parties share responsibility for the current situation, as the coalition previously implemented policies that increased international student numbers. The ongoing political clash signals a contentious election issue, with both parties defending their immigration records amidst rising tensions. The Sydney Morning Herald reports that New South Wales universities are bracing for a significant loss of nearly 13,000 international students due to the government's migration crackdown, with UNSW facing the steepest decline in Australia. The proposed student caps, aimed at controlling migration, will lead to a revenue shortfall exceeding $500 million for NSW universities. UNSW's international student limit will drop to 9,500, a reduction of over 45%, while Sydney University will be capped at 11,900, reflecting a 31% decrease. The financial implications are dire, with UNSW potentially losing $323 million and Sydney University $220 million in funding. The caps disproportionately impact NSW institutions, while Queensland universities may benefit from a net gain in international students. Yahoo US highlights a groundbreaking study by doctoral candidate Eli Sussman, revealing that just 20 seconds of self-compassionate touch can significantly enhance mental well-being. After participating in a month-long study, college students who practiced this brief form of self-care reported lower stress levels and greater self-compassion compared to a control group. Sussman's findings suggest that in a touch-deprived society, this simple practice can serve as a powerful tool for improving mental health, akin to long-term therapy. The study encourages individuals to incorporate self-compassionate touch into their daily routines, emphasizing the importance of treating oneself with kindness. The South China Morning Post covers the newly merged Adelaide University, where co-vice-chancellors are committed to fostering partnerships with Hong Kong universities to maintain their appeal to local students. The merger aims to enhance resource allocation and curriculum development, with over 200 programs set to launch in January 2026. Despite a steady flow of Hong Kong students, the co-vice-chancellors noted that the bespoke pathway to permanent residency has not led to a disproportionate increase in applications. They are also observing a rise in mature students returning to education, indicating a shift in demographics that the new institution intends to target for growth. Telegraph reports that the choice of degree has become critically important due to soaring student debt levels, with some graduates potentially never able to repay their loans. Graduates from the University of Sunderland's allied health programs earn an average of just £14,600 after 5 years, the lowest in the UK, while their peers in computer science from the University of Cambridge earn an average of £99,600 in the same timeframe. The disparity in earnings, which has increased dramatically over the past 6 years, poses a significant risk for students burdened with loans, as those in lower-earning fields like occupational therapy may see their debts balloon due to accrued interest. Despite similar tuition fees, the financial outcomes are starkly different, with Cambridge graduates able to pay off their loans by 2036, while Sunderland graduates may have over £100,000 written off by 2069. Although both groups find meaningful work, the financial implications of their degrees are profound, with experts urging students to consider long-term earning potential when choosing their fields of study. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.